Whoa. Good morning. Welcome to JP's Morning Brief. This is James Pierce. It is July 21st. I forgot what the date was. Sorry about that, guys. I lost track of time. I'm like, whoa, it just hit 6:30. All right. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Brief. Um, so let's get going on this. So let's get started. I'm still not fully recovered from yesterday. I'm getting there. I got about 4.5 hours of sleep last night. I'm doing better. Um, I got a little bit of a cat nap before I came in here this morning. But okay, so as we get started, when you look on your screen, you see JPA report. Next to it, you see a bell. If you want to follow the podcast, click the bell and then scroll down and click the follow button. Okay. And then give me a thumbs up for a like. All right. I appreciate that. And then chat if you want. We don't have no chatters in here right now. I know it's 6:30 in the morning, but if you can chat on the Chad Prather show before the noise, you can chat here too. All right. But it's no big deal. All right. So that being said, here we go. How many times can I say here we go this morning, right? The armament shop. Whether you're looking for your first firearm, upgrading your setup, or need expert service, Jason at the Armament Shop is Copper's Coast's premier source for all things shooting. Browse our wide selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns backed by top-tier gunsmithing for repairs, along with reloading supplies and professional cleaning to keep your firearm in peak condition. You need a transfer? We make FFL transfers fast, easy, and affordable. Need your CHL? Jason can handle those classes both online and in person. He has over 3 decades of experience. Visit the Armament Shop today at 115A West Avenue D in Coppers Cove or call or text 254-560-2023 or visit www.armamentshop.com. That's www.armamentshop.com. The Armament Shop, your safety, our priority. All right, so before I get started, just want to reach out and let people know that lost a really good commander of mine when I was in the Army yesterday. He was sick. Um, don't know exactly what was wrong with him, but he was a former colonel in the Army. He retired as a full bird colonel. He was a commander of the 112th Signal Battalion at Fort Bragg. He was commander of the 35th Signal Brigade at Fort Bragg, and he was a former commander of the White House Communications Agency. Colonel Howie Cohen was a really good officer in the Army, won't be forgotten. We always call him Waka. Uh, welcome to Howie Cohen's Army. It fit him to a T. And just wanted to reach out for his family and just let him know we remember him and what he'd done for all of his soldiers in the Army. All right. But you don't run into many officers like that. All right. So, Iran update. And this was the 10th day of airstrikes on Iran. Uh, the U.S. again is considering regime change in Iran, which I think is necessary at this point. Um, a ship owner, he owns several ships in that transit global traffic, offering 6-month pay bonus for crews that will transit the Strait of Hormuz. That's a lot of money. Uh, President Trump and Prime Minister Burnham, he's the new Prime Minister of England. They discussed the Strait of Hormuz yesterday. Kuwait intercepted a barrage of missiles and drones. Um, Iran's president says they are in a full-scale war with the United States. I really hardly believe that statement because it's a one-way war right now. The Houthis announced a blockade that everybody's ignoring. Um, Israel started a withdrawal from Lebanon, and Lebanon started their containment of Hezbollah. And that was on the news this morning also, that about the Lebanon actually starting the procedures to take the power away from all of Hezbollah. Okay, that's very good news. The stock market lost 307.16 points yesterday. It closed at 51,839.26. And West Texas Intermediate this morning was trading at $82.80 a barrel, and Brent crude oil was trading at $89.43 a barrel. Announcements we have in the area is, oops, I got that wrong. Oh, there we go. I got to make that correction before the JPA report. Man, I must have been really out of it last night. Pints and Politics in Gatesville is for this Thursday, July 23rd at 6 p.m. at Rancher Steakhouse in Gatesville. That's at the corner of 84 and 36. If you know, you know. But it's 107 Texas 36 North is the place. And Pints and Politics is brought to you by Chip Howell and Elephant in the Room Strategies. All right. Next one is Coryell County Republican Women. It's going to be this coming Saturday at 11 a.m. at Trinity Worship Center, 1802 Martin Luther King Drive in Coppers Cove. They're going to have a guest speaker, Dr. Mark Fulmer. He's going to be talking about Islamicism. That is the geopolitical implications of the greater context of the red-green axis. All right, and then on Monday, the 27th of July, is the West Side Conservative Coalition under Dennis Faulkner. He's their chair. They're going to meet at Papa's Cafe in Harker Heights at 6 p.m. on Monday, the 27th. And then on Tuesday, the 28th, is the Coryell County Republican Party CEC at 6 p.m. We are meeting in Gatesville at the Junction at Route 36 restaurant at 6 p.m. And our main focus of the meeting is going to be the fish fry that's coming up. All right. So, and then one final announcement. The 6th of August, which is like 2 weeks out, in Belton, is Pints and Politics Belton. It's going to be at the Dead Fish Grill. That is located by the Belton Dam. So that's the actual address is 2207 Lake Road in Belton, Texas. Starts at 6 p.m. I consider this the best Pints and Politics. So if you can, make it. Okay, it's a Dead Fish Grill, Pints and Politics, Belton at 6 p.m. All right, those are your announcements for this morning. Got to make that change on that one screenshot. All right, so here we go with the rest of the morning brief. So we'll start off in South Carolina. Darlene Graham. Darlene Graham is the sister of Lindsey Graham, and she was appointed from Governor McMaster last Monday. Last Monday she was asked by Governor McMaster to fulfill the rest of the term by her brother who passed away last Saturday, and she said yes, she would do it. And Tuesday she was sworn into the United States Senate to take his place until January 3rd. And then last night, she was interviewed by Sean Hannity. and she was asked, is she going to run for her brother's full term of the seat, which is upcoming, because Senator Graham had already won his primary, and he was up for re-election right now for November for a new 6-year term. She actually said she's all in, that she is going to run for her brother's seat. And filing starts today, and it goes through the 28th, and the special primary is going to be on August 11th. So Senator Darlene Graham, the sister of the late Senator Lindsey Graham, outlined her political priorities in an exclusive interview with Hannity on Monday as she announced she would run for the full Senate term in November. He's worked so hard for this. I just can't let that die. I've got to step in and carry on his legacy, she said during her first interview since Lindsey's death. I know he's cared about the people of South Carolina so deeply. He worked so hard for them, and I feel like I can do it. He taught me well, as she added. After being appointed by South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster last week to serve out the rest of her late brother's term until January 2027, Graham announced Monday that she will run for a full 6-year term. Graham, South Carolina's first female U.S. Senator, told Fox News that she feels the inner peace about succeeding her brother as representing the parliamentary state. It's a tremendous amount of pressure. I feel I can do it. I feel an inner peace about it. So, Darlene Graham is going to run for the full Senate. She has to fill out her application today. It's still in South Carolina. Nancy Mace announced yesterday that she will not run against Darlene Graham. South Carolina GOP Representative Nancy Mace announced on Monday she will not run for the late Senator Lindsey Graham's Senate seat in a special election next month, stating she was chasing justice for women whose victims were assault instead of seeking another title. The move comes after Mace came in fifth in her bid for the Republican nomination for governor earlier this year. She teased a potential bid for the Senate a day after Graham died unexpectedly earlier this month at age 71. I'm not running for the U.S. Senate, not because I'm backing down from a fight, but it's because the one I'm already in matters right now, she said in a video announcement. The law meant to protect me and other women failed us, and I won't stop until that changes. So I'm not chasing another title. I'm chasing justice. Justice for me, justice for other women, justice for every little girl who's ever told to stay silent. She's on a mission, and she's on a very admirable mission. And I really appreciate her candor about what she's planning to do. Good luck to Congresswoman Mace. She's been a very, very good member of the United States House of Representatives. Remember, she's still in there until January, okay? Next, still in South Carolina, we've got 15 minutes left. GOP Congressman Ralph Norman enters race to replace the late Lindsey Graham as South Carolina Senator. He's chasing a title, okay? South Carolina Governor, GOP Representative Ralph Norman announced Saturday that he's officially running for a special election next month to replace the late Republican Senator Lindsey Graham. Graham, who won the Republican nomination for Senate earlier this year, died unexpectedly last week at age 71. His office said funerals for the senator will be will take place on July 28th and July 29th. Norman promised to continue Graham's legacy and stand with President Donald Trump if elected in November. He said, "I'm running for the United States Senate because our country is at a crossroads," Norman said in a note to voters. President Trump needs proven conservative fighters to stand with him, not politicians who fold when the pressure comes. Washington doesn't need more talkers. It needs people who will do exactly what they told the voters they do. Norman told Fox News that if he's elected to the Senate, he would be focused on passing the president's legislative agenda, including the Save America Act, and would help nuke the Senate's filibuster. The announcement came after Trump endorsed Graham's sister, Darlene Graham Nordon, who has been appointed to serve out the remainder of her brother's term. He is another good candidate to be in the United States Senate. The only thing I see about him that Graham, she is approximately 60 years old, and Ralph Norman is 73 years old. So he'll take office when he's 74 and serve until he's 80. Okay? That's the deal we're dealing with. We have too many old people staying in politics. All right? But I'm not saying if he wins the primary on August 11th, he's all in, and every Republican needs to support him in his candidacy. Same thing with Senator Graham. If she wins on August 11th, everyone needs to put all their eggs in that basket and push it forward and get her elected. The days of like, oh man, I got beat, I'm going to take my block of voters, I'm going to go home. I'm telling people like Nikki Haley, Nancy Mace, anyone else, Pam Everett, if she doesn't run, they all need to, I named all women. What happened to all the guys? But they need to support the winner of the August 11th primary or August, I believe, 28th runoff. Okay? Okay, next we have Darrell Issa. We're going to go all the way out to California. Congressman Darrell Issa, military veteran, and he is retiring from Congress. He used to be a congressman from down in San Diego. He retired, and then you had Duncan Hunter Jr. Took the seats, and then he came back. Darrell Issa came back. He's like in his second term back. They redistricted California last spring and made him in a majority Democrat area, which he said no big deal. He was planning to run, but he announced his retirement, so he's going to retire in January. I mean, he's done his part. There are other congressmen out there who can serve, and there's some Republican ones. All they have to do is put forth the effort to try to win, and they can do it. Where they serve is a heavily military veteran area. California GOP Darrell Issa said he is pressing ahead to have President Trump's 2 impeachments expunged from the record, arguing Democrats wouldn't have voted so easily to had the evidence of falsehood been made public. I intend to doing just that, making sure that we recognize and validate that false information was withheld, and withheld information caused Congress to think they could vote to impeach him. Issa told Just the News No Noise TV Monday show on TV. Knowing what we know now, many of the Democrats would have had a much harder time facing the voters knowing that they had willfully used false information. Trump is discussing plans to seek to have Congress pass a resolution to expunge both of his impeachments from his first term, and his allies want to help him. Hey, good morning, Ricky. Kovite for Life is in the chat room. He is back. Good morning, Ricky. Trump is discussing plans to seek to have Congress pass a resolution to expunge both of his impeachments from his first term, and his allies want him to do so. Trump told the Wall Street Journal on June 11th, last month, that the expunging should be done because I did nothing wrong. In 2019, the Democrat-controlled House of Representatives impeached Trump for abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. These charges were based on alleged withholding of military aid to the Ukraine to pressure the country into investigating Joe Biden. Trump was impeached a second time in February 2021 on an article of incitement of insurrection following the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol. Both impeachments, the Senate fell short of the two-thirds majority necessary to convict Trump. Issa, who represents San Diego and Riverside counties, is a former U.S. Army captain and a successful businessman. He stands with other congressional leaders who argued that expunging the president's impeachment votes. Mike Johnson, he's the Speaker of the House, told the Wall Street Journal that Trump's impeachments should be erased. It makes a lot of sense. The more the evidence comes out, the more we know they really were sham impeachments, the Speaker told the Journal. We were saying all the time, we know now. Remember, Mike Johnson wasn't the Speaker during the impeachments, okay? And we know the very compelling case that it should be expunged from the record because it was a hyper-partisan attack job. So it would be good to see Congress come together and expunge the impeachments that they had pressed upon President Trump. Now, that's not saying that if the Democrats take the House of Representatives in November, that when they come to power in January, they try to do it over again because the hatred toward the orange man bad and Trump derangement syndrome out there in the Congress and in the United States is, my bets are they tried to impeach him and remove him from office. That is a given. Republicans. Republicans are furious about how the intelligence community, this goes back to 2020 also, refused to tell the president about election interference that was going on from China and other nefarious organizations. They actually refused to brief the president in his presidential daily brief, which is a crime and seditious. And those, if you're a military officer, you should be court-martialed. If you're a civilian, you should be fired, indicted, and convicted. All right? President Trump on Thursday released a trove of declassified intel on his administration saying, that says exposed long suspected vulnerabilities in U.S. election infrastructure, in addition to alarming intelligence points to prior administration officials' knowledge of such issues that were kept from the President of the United States, the Congress, and the American people. The intelligence community withheld information from his president's daily brief. That's a big deal. That's where the IC, remember that's intelligence community, gives him the absolute most classified data, what he needs to know for that day. And frankly, during his first term, they withheld it. That's a black mark on the intelligence community. Congressman Keith Self Republican from Texas, said that the other day. Keith Self is from the Metroplex, if you did not know. He continued, they should be charged both because they held positions of great responsibility and they violated our trust. They violated the actual agreements that they signed when they get that level of classified data. So this is a very, very easily charged and indicted. The materials posted on the White House website, which last week, if you're looking for them on Friday, I posted the link, and I should have done it yesterday, but yesterday was a long day. If anyone's looking for them, they look back on the episode titled "Who Shall Go to Jail First?" Okay, that was the actual podcast. The materials posted on the White House website, including a prime time address, includes assessments indicating the intelligence officials were aware of risks such as outdated software and potentially compromises by adversaries like China, which the documents claim acquired data on millions of Americans voters, but did not fully disclose them to the president, Congress, or the public. At the conclusion of Trump's address, he directed Americans to the White House website, where the documents were both readable and downloadable. Minutes later, the site crashed to a high traffic volume. I was part of that. It's whitehouse.gov/elections dash integrity, or go back to Friday's episode and you'll find it. Okay. 6:57. We are running out of time. Let's see. I'll go back to that one after the JPA report. This afternoon, the House Oversight Committee with Congressman James Comer, they are going to have oversight hearings on Medicare fraud, the Smithsonian, and DEI policies. In regards to the Smithsonian's, there are very large concerns that the curators at the Smithsonian Museums, of which they receive 62% of their funding from the U.S. government to tell real history about the United States, in which they don't. Okay, just a small portion. The House Committee on Oversight, Government Reform is set to host 3 hearings on issues that have ongoing priorities for the Trump administration. On Tuesday at 2 p.m. today, the Subcommittee on Healthcare and Financial Services will hold a roundtable on Medicare fraud involving skin substitute spending. That's like skin grafts and stuff for burns. Then the administration has created. Okay, I want to read the other one. And the Smithsonian Presentations of History earlier on Tuesday, subcommittee on delivering on the House Efficiency hearing on the Smithsonian's effort to reshape the past through writing American history. Rewriting American history. Earlier in the Trump second term, he issued an executive order titled Restoring Truth and Sanity to American History, which he directed the vice president, member of the Smithsonian Board of Regiments, to work to eliminate improper, divisive, and anti-American ideology from the Smithsonian and its museums and education research centers and the National Zoo. And I have to stop there. And I got a whole lot more I can read on this. But we are out of time. All right. So everyone, I'm going to go back over this and more in detail when it comes to 8 o'clock Central, which would be the JPA report. I hope y'all tune in and support me with that also. And we go over America 250 during the JPA report. All right. Thank y'all very much for tuning in. 7 o'clock. I'm going to initiate the raid to go over to the events. And there we go. I will see y'all in 1 hour with the JPA report. I'll catch you on the flip side. I'm out. 3 seconds.